Now, you guys might have seen this picture trending out there, and maybe other pictures as well, which were showing African presidents who were sitting in the back of a bus, and they were being driven at the Queen's funeral, right? And a lot of people were jumping on this bandwagon on TikTok. I've seen a few videos coming from TikTok which have been posted in other platforms, and they were talking about how they are treating African presidents. All of a sudden people became activists. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about the kind of buses these are. You can see here by the name of the company, or which kind of looks similar to the bus that the presidents are in. I think this is the bus company that actually was carrying them, or this is the buses that were carrying the presidents. Now, these are no cheap buses. These are no average buses. These are luxury buses. You can kind of like customize these buses. They come in different versions, and the particular ones that the presidents are going by might be just the average ones without any kind of accessories and all that kind of stuff, but the company just produces high quality buses. Another picture, I saw another picture today, just like an hour ago or so, and this picture shows that it was not African presidents only. It was actually just buses that were moving them from one area to another.
Spanish, the Belgians, the Dutch, they'll all be coming in as well, because that's part of the global royal family, and we're putting them all in the same place at the same time.
They've been told to fly commercial if possible, no helicopter transfers allowed. The US President Joe Biden, the notable exception, arriving on Air Force One. He's been given special dispensation to use his armoured car, the Beast, to get around.
Now, the African presidents themselves might have been sitting, because, you know, when you get to an environment, you kind of align yourself with those ones that might be neighbors, you know. So they were congregating themselves by neighborhood. And so people made an entire deal of it. People made an entire political statement about it, only to see other presidents inside there who were not black presidents, who were not African presidents only. Now, what does this picture show you? What does this entire thing of this picture show you? If you are so bent on hatred, you cannot see the other side. You see, me, when I saw the picture first time, when I saw the presidents, as a matter of fact, until I saw some presidents in the back who I actually recognized, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, okay, they're at the event, okay. But for a person who is politically minded, a person who can't help but see hate, that's all he sees. Messages that we constantly feed ourselves influence us, and over time we can't help but see just that. If you think people hate you, you'll convince yourself, even if they are showing themselves loving. I saw this by a recent interview, the guy from Transformers, and his testimony came out. I think he just came to faith, but I think he's Catholic or something like that. But what's fascinating is an interview that he did, and in this interview he illustrates how he made an entire movie. He was so convinced his father hated him until he came to faith. When he came to faith, he looked back and was like, wait a minute, the issue was not my dad. The issue was I was so bent on getting my way that I could not see the loving nature of my father. Many people they're kicking themselves with so much hatred and feeding themselves so much hatred, and over time that becomes all you see. That's why you saw that picture and the first thing you saw was racism. Okay, now if you pointed at Prince Charles, who is now King Charles, and you said, oh, wait a minute, when he was on the line there was a video that was out there on Twitter where he was on the line and he intentionally just keeps a black guy. Now you could point it to that, but could you point it to the presidents on the thingy? That's because of what you believe. That's because of what you've bent your mind to see. You have convinced yourself this is all there is, and that's what you're looking for. And as a result, it darkens the heart. Now, the Bible says something that's very key here. It says the heart of man is incredibly wicked. Who can know it? Meaning the man himself cannot know it. This is why we ought to watch ourselves. in the area of the hearts. And so I'm actually perfectly fine with a person misunderstanding me and hating me for all the years in the world when I'm trying to correct them on the issue of how they are defiling themselves by hatred. As long as they one day come to see it, I'm perfectly fine. You can go on hating me for the next 10 years. I won't lose sleep. It's okay. When you come around the corner, you'll find me there. Because this is an issue that affects you. It is mumu moves. It's actually, you are actually doing yourself disservice for denying when people are trying to call you out, when you are darkening your heart. Now, correction, which is what we do on this channel, apologetics, it's not hatred. I don't know you personally. Can you come down, please? And also, all these spiritual sons, come down. I don't know your spiritual father for anything. I was never at ECG. I was never at Embassy of Thingy by Ubet Angel, Spirit Embassy. I was never at Makandiwa's church. I was never at any of these charlatans' churches. I visited ZCC, I visited some of these churches, I visited Christ Embassy. I have very little to say about them. But I've never been at the churches that I mostly speak about. It's not personal, it's correction, doctrinal correction. Okay? There is no personal hatred here. All you are seeing is a depiction of the hatred that your fathers, your so-called spiritual fathers, are putting out there. And the reason why you come back here thinking that we are attacking them is because they've told you they are being attacked. And because they know very well that they should be questioned, they portray it as attack, and therefore they cannot receive it as rebuke. And bear in mind, they will bring it up. They will bring up the verses about rebuke when they are the one who are doing it. But when other people do it to them, they cannot receive it. That's the same thing you see here. If you were at any point looking at that picture and thinking, ooh, African presidents, oh, they're being mistreated, that the reason is that you have fed yourself hatred for so long. Now, Bazaran, I'm not saying people are not racist out there. People are racist, but how you react to it, it's up to you.